This is John and James. This was one of the swarm traps that we put together, and it caught a pretty large swarm. We're thinking we've already moved some of them into the box. We've got a super and a deep on it, and we're about to open the trap and see what's inside and move them down.
Yeah, it looks like I think we moved about 8 pounds or so, I'd guess, into the deep already. Okay, we're ready to lift the bottom after this screw.
We might want to take the eye hooks out here as well.
Let's go ahead and get the screw out, and then we'll take the eye hooks last.
Okay, let me get underneath of this.
Yep. Thank you.
Can I wait? Are my fingers okay up here?
Yeah, you're good. There's one more in here. Check. No, that's it. Okay.
Okay, set that down.
Yep.
I'll try and hold it together here.
Sure. Hold it together, John. Hold it together.
I'm trying to hold it together.
Okay.
I'm still squeezing it together. So.
Yeah, you can let it loose now. Curls popping
bubbling
out.
out.
Yeah, let's open it up.
Okay, if you want to hold that side, and I'll take the back
sure,
side.
I've got my side.
Okay, set this one down for now.
Sounds great. And here we have the insides of the swarm trap. With this particular design, we can use frames that are ready to go.
Not as many bees in here as I thought there might be.
Well, we got a whole bunch of them from the outside already, so
yeah. Remember, might have to double screws on this one.
Yeah, that's okay.
Which way are you going?
Yeah, I'm just looking it over real quick, seeing what the best way to go about. I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and inverse it. I'll turn it on its own. Make sure we're not squishing any bees. There we go. And I'll take the screw out here.
I'm holding all the frames together.
Thank you.
Let me know which one you want to get first.
We've got a screw holding down the set of frames on each end. And pegs between the frame. To hold the frames together and
which one you want?
in place. I'm going to take this outer one.
Okay.
I'm going to lift this frame up. Thank you. I'll do the same on the other side.
The one closest to you It's
Okay, since
come loose already.
Since they just moved in, they really haven't drawn this comb out. So I think what I'd like to do is get the bees off of these two frames. See if it's stuck clean on the crossings. I think the girls would be really upset right now, but so far they've been pretty good. Definitely helps that we don't have any brood to defend or any honey.
Got a bunch on this end over here. There you go.
Definitely hear their fans kicked in. Alright, that's empty. Shake this off.
Here, I'll get it.
There's already less bees on this frame, so they've been moving down. Okay, let's turn it this way so we can see inside the bucket. Not too many bees in there. There you go. So how long would you say it took them to, from the cloud of bees to the time they settled onto the swarm trap yesterday?
When I got into the driveway, they were not on the swarm trap, and I would say I heard them in the canopy here above this tree.
Kind of like what you're hearing right now?
Yeah, only louder. And
louder than this, wow.
And I would say within 2 minutes the front of the swarm trap was covered, and then, you know, probably within 5 minutes the majority of them were either down in or on, and still had thousands of bees flying around here just around the openings.
So what we have is this entire wall line.
There's a good chance the queen is there.
Absolutely agree.
And remember, that's got an opening on that side, so
okay.
Probably want to.
We'll get there. We're going to hold that for just a moment. Thank you. Got it. And I'll put a little piece of tape over the opening for now. Get those out of the way. Excuse me, ladies. I'm just putting a little tape over the opening to make our job a little easier. Now you're wondering what the baggie is there for. We have a little, we call it bait, but typically we use lemongrass oil on a Q-tip or cotton ball, and very little.
Yeah, you can see there's a Q-tip in that bag, and it just had just a couple of drops of lemongrass oil on it.
And they're drawn to that scent. They say it reminds the honeybees of the smell of a queen.
And this swarm trap had only been set for 3 days before they moved in. It had activity after 1 day where the scout bees were checking it out.
And you said you saw, what, like 15 or so bees flying around it? And
yes.
In and out of it?
So probably a good dozen, maybe a few more bees that were flying around it just to check it out, the scout bees.
Okay, keep your eyes peeled. So this is a great example of this fanning behavior, where all these tails are sticking so high in the air.
Let's see if I can bring you in closer for a quick view. You might notice some bees there on the tops of the frames just fanning their little wings and got their butts up in the air. They're trying to let all the other bees know that this is probably their new home.
There we go.
And it's a good sign that all these bees are up here fanning. I mean, look at them all. There's a ton of them up here on the top, just fanning their little wings.
And you can see how they've got, it's almost like they open a plate and expose that scent gland in the tip of the tail. Some bees that are agitated, you'll actually be able to see the stingers sticking out the tip. If they're alerted and on edge, sometimes they'll have their tail up in the air and their stinger out. In this case, I don't see any stingers out.
Yeah, I do not either.
And they're not agitated, they're just literally just communicating bee language. And this is helping the bees that are still flying around in the air. So the bees were right up here. And we see there are a few flying around, kind of circling that area that had already oriented to that spot. They might have been out foraging right before we took the trap down, and they could be returning. If we look closely, we might spot some with pollen on their legs, for example. Just comparing notes. I think that's one thing that's important as a beekeeper, is you have to be willing to try new things. It takes a lot of experimentation. Always learning. There's always something new to pick up. And at the end of the day, you can do everything right and the bees may not cooperate. Or maybe I should say, everything you think is right. Past success does not always equal future success, so it certainly helps. Especially in the case of swarm traps. I mean, we found that swarm traps that have captured bees in a particular location seem to be very promising for capturing future swarms. And maybe it's a bit like your favorite fishing hole for those fishermen out there. It's good at catching fish for you one year. It may be equally good the next. I'm just slowly moving these frames together so that we can get the last frame in place. Alright, I think we're ready to put a lid on. We have the front door open so they can come and go. So at this point we can put the lid on and let the remaining ones move in.
And you might notice bees going in. They're actually going into the front door now. Bees coming and going.
About it.
Well, that's going to be the show for today. It's been fun. It's exciting to catch a swarm and see it move in, and then be able to actually put it into a hive, and hopefully we'll be able to get them productive, and maybe we'll get some honey, or maybe we'll just get some more bees. It's hard to say, but that's a good sized swarm, and it's been fun.